Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We are here for Transfer Talk, as we always are, 10 p.m, obviously not tomorrow. England are playing, and England, very important. We're going to win the Euros, might as well stop it now, to be honest. We might as well stop it now. But what are we going to talk about? Well, I'll tell you before you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and check out our socials. Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _. If you're watching on Twitter, and come join us on YouTube. It's a much better community. It's a much better community. I can assure you over here. So make sure you do that. I'm here and just trying to add in what I want to do. I will do that one then. I think that's is the right one, because if not, I'll be in the mud. In the mud. That is the one I wanted. There we go. So obviously we're going to start with Tomori is leaving Chelsea, obviously, after all of his time at the club through their youth academy. Tomori has gone and found another place to play, and that is AC Milan. Picture number 2, obviously, as you can see, has Manchester City apparently cannot afford Harry Kane. And they did look at doing a swap deal with money for João Felix, which was later sort of rejected, or I'm not 100%. We'll read through the article and did it there. Obviously, number 3, Atletico Madrid wants stupid money for Kieran Trippier. And when I say stupid, I mean absolute barbaric money for a 29, 30-year-old backup right back, which is what he would apparently be. So you got a bit of information on that. Of course, Varane to United, there's an update on that, as I'm sure a lot of us are aware of what happened, obviously, yesterday with Sergio Ramos leaving Real Madrid. Is that meaning that Varane is going to stay at Real Madrid? If not, where does he go? And that, last but not least, does Haaland have a release clause? We'll find that out. We will find that out. But yeah, I mean, plenty to get into. But it's a brutal one. It's brutal. Let me just get what I need up there. There we go. So we'll start with Tomori. Why is there a picture of Felix? You found out. I didn't get fantasy points, lol, but Ake got a clean sheet. They take a while to add the points on. That's why. You know, this is going to be a class stream like every other stream on this channel. Much appreciated, Max. Much appreciated. So Tomori will complete a permanent transfer from Chelsea to AC Milan on the 1st of July. The defender spent the second half of last season on loan with Milan, but will make that move permanent next month after a deal was agreed between the two clubs. Tomori played 22 games for AC Milan last season following his January loan, helping them secure Champions League qualification for a third place finish in Serie A, as well as reaching last 16 in Europa League and Coppa Italia quarterfinals. His only goal came in a crucial 3-0 league win over Juventus in May. The Chelsea Academy graduate had been with the Blues since the under-8 level. and made 27 first-team appearances for the club in total, scoring 2 senior goals. So that's basically that on Tomori. He's he's left, and yeah, that's it really. There's not much you can say about Tomori. Obviously, he's gone. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are a bit upset about that. I know a lot of Chelsea fans really liked Tomori, wanted him to be given a chance. Obviously, Lampard just didn't give him that chance, and I think towards the end it did hurt them, the Chelsea fans, that is. And I have to understand why. It was a tough one. It is a tough one. Let's go to some of your comments. Done some to be much of a way of upsets in the Euros this time. Yeah, it doesn't seem that way. And now, of course, the centre of entertainment on YouTube. Top job, thank you. I saw a billboard advertising visit Plymouth at the tube station. Thought of you. Thank you. At least it's over and done with. That is very true. The only thing that might be considered an upset is England not topping the group. I think England will top the group. But moving on. Manchester City can't afford Harry Kane. Manchester City proposed a swap deal offer to Atletico Madrid for Bernardo Silva. Man City want João Felix as they couldn't afford to sign Harry Kane. So Bernardo Silva swap deal with quite a bit of money. Atletico Madrid rejected the approach and only want money. That was from Mercado Ingles. Now, how much of that is true, I don't know. Do City really have that much of an issue to sign Harry Kane? Well, it's simply how much do Spurs want for Harry Kane? If Spurs want over 150 million, I don't think there's any club that can afford that in this climate. In terms of the position we were in, financial fair play is still a thing as well. So we have to remember that as well. So I can firmly believe this. I really can, because at the end of the day, it's a mad business, and the bit about it is, if they can't afford him, who can? Manchester United couldn't. Manchester City, if they can't, where does that leave Kane? Is he being priced out by Daniel Levy? That's going to be the issue. And if he is, how upset is Harry Kane going to be next summer or next season? Is the new manager of Spurs, whoever that may be able to deal with that? Probably not. So I don't think Manchester City will get Kane. I don't think they can. I think if they're after Grealish, if they're after all of these, I think they get an unknown. I do. I think he could cause issues for Daniel Levy. I do. I really, and that's not just because I don't like Spurs, because I do. Well, I sort of like him. My dad's a supporter of them. I just think he causes problems. I think he's had this gentleman's agreement, and now he's being priced out by Daniel Levy. Will he have a problem with that? Yeah, I think he probably will. Big up Niall, thank you, Charlie. I actually think they may well go for Haaland instead, as Kane will stay at Spurs. Man City won't get Haaland. I think that's probably Chelsea's ball game. But we'll get into Haaland in a second, because there's an interesting bit of information on Erling Haaland as well. But I don't think Kane will sulk if he stays at Spurs. I think differently. I think he probably does. Kick off. Even into box. Thank you. Harry Redknapp for Spurs is what Outdoors says. I mean, could you imagine? You've been linked with Conte, and you've just had Jose, and you're about to whack out the old boy of Harry Redknapp again. Imagine. Kane will focus on his game, and he will be aiming for the World Cup. I don't think he does. I think he kicks off. If he sulks, it affects his game and affects England as well. He'll get picked for England no matter what. Southgate's proven that. All he has to do is bag in a few goals. He'll be fine. He won't be this prolific though. He won't put that much effort in. Haaland to Chelsea in a done deal. Well, there's information on that, but he certainly ain't going to go City. I can almost bet my house on that. It won't work with Pep. I mean, Mino Raiola and Pep. I mean, I swear Mino Raiola called Pep a dog. I mean, that alone is going to be enough to not make anyone work with him. But Atletico want stupid money for Trippier. Atletico Madrid want almost £43 million if they are to sell Kieran Trippier this summer. They are yet to receive an offer from Manchester United, despite reports of an approach being knocked back. But United are interested in signing Kieran Trippier. That is from Sky. And on that, I also think his contract runs out in 2023. I heard Goldbridge say something. Now, Goldbridge might not always be correct. He might have made a mistake. In fact, I want to Google this before I say anything. Well, I've already said it, but I want to double check it. Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Trippier signed for La Liga club Atletico Madrid 2019 3-year contracts. That'll be running out in 2022. Renews contract. This is from One Football. There we go. Kieran Trippier has renewed his contract with Atletico Madrid, while the former Tottenham fullback has been linked with a summer return to the Premier League this summer. It emerged Trippier had triggered a new deal, says AS. The England fullback was due a new 12-month extension should he reach 20 games this season, which he has comfortably passed now, played 27. Trippier's deal has now been extended from 2022 to the end of 2022-23. Both Atletico management and Trippier are happy with the arrangement. So this myth is done. Look, they've now, the ball's in Atletico's court because they've still got 2 years. It's not, his contract's not up at the end of next year. They've still got another year, which is why they're asking for stupid money, because they can, because they know that they've still got him for next season. Simple as that. Harry Kane wants a new challenge, and that could be see if they could afford the price tag. You getting people on, mate? I'll come on if you are. Absolutely. A link will be put in the chat in just a second. Big up to DC as well. United and Varane. Manchester United have spent 50 million. Have made a 50 million pound offer for Real Madrid defender Rafael Varane, but the Spanish club is holding out for 80 million pounds. Manchester United are working on a compromise to the 80 million deal. Real Madrid are ideally holding out to sell Varane for 75 million. Some have obviously suspected that, matching the fee of Van Dijk, commanded 3.5 years ago. That is from Samuel Lockhurst. Now on that one, is Varane worth 80 million? No. Now, is Varane the player with 3 years left on his contract worth 80 million? Probably. He's got a year left on him. You cannot pay 80 million for a guy who's got 1 year left on his contract. For a guy that's got 1 year left on his contract, you want to give him 80 million. The madness in that alone is absolutely insane. But the big bit and the bulk of this channel, well, not a bulk of this channel, is mad. Keep in note, Samuel Luckhurst is not tier 1, lads. I am aware of that. But also, he works at United, I'm pretty sure, or very closely to the club. The 18 million thing is true, though. Haaland. Now, I found this, and it was really interesting. So either I found it or Kenny did. One of us did. Chelsea fans eagerly following the story this summer in what is building up to be one of the biggest transfer sagas in history. But will they or any other interested club managers secure the signing of Erling Haaland this summer? Or will they have to wait till next summer? Well, there's a rumoured release clause that comes in next summer that could see Dortmund make pretty much half of the money they probably could on the striker this summer. So it'd not be wise for him to cash in now, right? Well, according to a Telegraph, they cast out so there is even a release clause that exists. The clause is unconfirmed, and it is far from certain they actually exist, claims Jason Burt, who wrote the article. However, he confirms Chelsea are among the clubs pushing hard to negotiate a deal for this transfer window, even though he believes a deal next summer is more likely. But Burt believes Chelsea's tactic is one that could eventually succeed if they remain patient, and not least because they have a good relationship with Dortmund following the signing of Pulisic, who they agreed a deal for in January 2019 before he joined the following summer. Now, that is mad. Is there even a release clause in Erling Haaland's contract? I haven't seen the contract, and if I did, I'm probably not smart enough to understand the legal bullshit part of it. If it's true that there is no such clause, everyone has been taken for a ride by Erling Haaland. Mino Raiola, his dad, not Erling himself, but his dad and Mino. Because if there isn't a clause in there, well, you're going to have to pay stupid money to Dortmund anyway. Now, we don't know when this contract runs out, and no one has ever seen this contract. It's always, and then you don't tend to see contracts. But it's always been unconfirmed that there's a clause in there, and we've always assumed that there is a clause in Z contract. But is there really a clause? That's the issue. Is there really a clause? I can't comment on it. I simply cannot comment on it at all. But I have chucked the link into the chat now for anyone that wants to come on and have their say. Obviously, we know what we're all talking about. So if you do want to join us or join me, then make sure you press that link and come join me. A couple of comments here. What we got here? Samuel Lockhurst. I don't like him, but he is a very reliable source. 80 million equals... No, it was 80 million pounds, mate. 80 million pounds. It was not euros. If it was euros, I'd have said euros. That's pounds. He's tier 2. It's 80 million pounds, I believe. It is pounds. If Atletico want 80 million for Ram, we should get 100 million for Pogba, but us Man U. So we always get ripped off. Pogba won't go for 100 mil. Yeah, I hear that. Kenny, I'm saying if Varane has 1 year left, they want 80, then Pogba on 1 year is worth more than that. Obviously, we won't get 100 million. I hear that. I do hear that. I mean, you should get more than that, and how it all works, God knows, but you are run by idiots. That's the whole issue of Manchester United, is you're run by idiots. It's simply, it's the most easiest part to say is you are literally run by a bunch of Muppets. In fact, go get the Muppets in, they'll do a better job. But we are joined by Kenny and we're joined by Lewis. How are we doing, guys?
Doing good.
I'm doing decent. Tomorrow's the final day of my exams, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, I'm just doing decent.
Perfect. Kenny, we'll start with you. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm gonna speak on Varane a bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I've seen, the 80 million pounds is real, and basically what's happening is that's the main thing. That's the main reason why we don't want to. We're not willing to pay that, basically. But apparently, according to a very very reliable sources, that was only because Varane hadn't decided whether they wanted to move yet. He hadn't signed the new contract yet. They were going to offer a new deal. So if after he refuses the contract, then it's going to go down from probably 80 to probably around the 60-50 mark. Yeah. So that is so don't worry about 80 million, because it's not going to be 80 million at the end of the day, and he's most likely not going to sign a new contract. Of course, news came out later that he's decided to leave from a very reliable source. I can't remember what source it actually was, but on Madrid Extra, they basically said it was a very reliable source. So he has decided to leave. So you will see that price tag go down a lot. Also, recently I've heard news that a bid hasn't gone in yet, but of course you can never guarantee something. You can never guarantee something with any source. I would be very happy if he did join. Whether I think he will join, I just have a sneaky suspicion PSG will get him, but because what everyone's saying is, what some reliable accounts like the Musketeers are saying is that if PSG don't give them more money than us, then he's definitely ours. Well, you know what PSG are known for? Splashing money on everyone, and they're not like Man City. They don't have a transfer policy like that. They splash loads of money on every single player, so they will get him. Unless they get Ramos, in which case it depends whether we actually get Ramos or not. Because if they get Ramos, then I mean Varane's ours. But if they don't, then he's obviously not going to be ours, and Varane will go to them. Now, Varane would be a very, very good signing, but I just don't think it'll happen. I think it'll go to PSG because I think my Ramos might go to like a City or something. But those are just my personal views. It would be a very good signing, and I think if he is done, then I wouldn't say it's going to be a long saga. I think the DM is going to be the longest saga of the window. That's what I think. But yeah, Varane.
I mean, you are run by complete and utter muppets, so it really wouldn't surprise me at all. But Lewis, what do you want to talk about, mate?
Let's talk about the City can't afford Kane.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a hard one to say because they might not be able to afford him, but if they're looking at because how Felix would be cheaper than Kane, and obviously they are planning to put Bernardo Silva in that deal, which I don't think would happen. I don't.
Yeah.
Because as much as Silva wants to leave, I don't think Atletico would want Silva. I know that might sound stupid because you're getting a player for effectively free, who you could get about 70 million for, but I don't think they'll want. I think they'll want money straight up, like what Spurs would want with Kane, money straight up. I don't think they'd want to play in exchange for him.
Yeah.
But then also if I'm guessing you've got like a tier 1 source that they can't afford him.
Yeah. It's a report in Spain.
Yeah. So effectively, you could almost count City out that race, which could potentially leave Chelsea. But Chelsea are looking at Haaland more.
Yeah, well,
so Kane
the last time Chelsea tried to do business with Spurs, it ended so badly. So we'll never do that again.
Just effectively, Harry Kane's in the mud and leaving Spurs unless someone else comes in, such as a PSG or something like that. Because I'm not going to be funny here, and I'm not being stupid here. PSG could have and I know we're not really talking, but PSG could have a very good summer if they could go for Kane if they need to, because they've got the Donnarumma on loan on a free. They could potentially get Ramos on a free, and then if they do decide to go for Kane and they get Kane, they're dangerous next season in Europe. So I'm pretty sure we get someone else on a free. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was.
Who?
What PSG.
Club?
It was PSG. It was Donnarumma.
Wijnaldum.
Yeah, Wijnaldum. That's it. They are looking very good next season, and they're
looking competent.
Yeah, and I'm not being funny. I don't think Little will touch them next season. I don't think Liam will touch that. I think they will win the title next season.
Yeah,
But then,
how have we got onto PSG?
don't know. But then, and then obviously on this Trippier deal, it's a bit pathetic because he's what 30 now. Really, it's a bit stupid.
We'll skip the Trippier
that money.
out. Yeah, I hear that. You managed to get us onto PSG, and God fuck knows how we did that. Samuel Luckhurst, Tier 1 surely works for Man United News.
No, he works for Manchester
Evening
News. Basically, what I'm going to say on this, I'm just going to say something. Manchester Evening News is not a Tier 1 source for transfers. It's only good for the other stuff, because Manchester Evening News is where United send most of their briefs and fake stories, like Messi or Ronaldo are going to Man United. It's normally from Manchester Evening News because they have a lot of briefs from United. So it's not actually they're not actually very reliable. So Samuel Luckhurst is probably a Tier 2, which is one of the most reliable transfers of them all.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Max, you there?
Yes, I am.
What did you want to talk about then? And then we'll go to Charlie.
I'm starting to be dragged on about with the Harry Kane and Varane stuff that's going on. So obviously you've mentioned that United want 50 million, they want 80 million. It is a little surprise to me that he is 80 million or over, seeing as how he's played and he's only got like a year left on his contract. There is an expectation apparently at United that Madrid will lower their evaluation in negotiations. Do I see that happening? It's a possibility because United can do that sometime. But next summer he is out of contract, and obviously, as I said in the chat, Spanish Giants will be keen to cash in on the defensive star. They will risk losing him. It's like Ramos when he was like 2 years ago, or however long it was. Because with Varane, he's had quite a lot of ball recoveries in his time. He's got a pass accuracy of almost 90% if you round it up. Long pass accuracy 60% in general. He's had 162 duels contested. Aerial duel success is 76, 56 ground duel success.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best centre backs there is in the world right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's only had 23 goals conceded this year, which isn't too bad, but it's not too good either. But still, he's still had quite a lot of defensive style play this season. As I'm looking on the squawker right now, so his ground duel success and aerial success are pretty much around the same area, like the 50 to 70, 80 mark. His passing accuracy is very good. His tackles are good. His aerial duels, he's contested 96 and won 73 of them. So that just shows you how good he is in the air when he's trying to win the ball. So he might be good in the box when they're trying to get the corners in. Ground duel 66, so he gets it back quite a lot. As we go back to the ball recoveries, 150. So and he's lost possession 210 times. So it's still he has pretty much 60 times he hasn't won the ball back after losing possession. So he's a great defender. He knows he knows what he wants to do. It's just a case of whether Madrid can actually let him go, because he's unlikely to renew his contract, but as he wants to.
Well, and that's basically that, really. You've just summed it up. Real Madrid have no power. Real Madrid have no power in this situation. If Real Madrid turn around and say, we'll give you stupid money, well, they can't because they can't afford it. Now, they can't afford to let him go for free, because you think of a player like Raphael Varane, that's even more embarrassing than letting Paul Pogba go for free. I mean, we all know that United board are a bunch of clowns. Wouldn't expect that from Perez. And it's a man that has been asking, begging for for the Super League. So no, I hear that, and it's a tough one. But I want to go to Charlie. Charlie, what do you want to talk about today then?
Well, I mean, we could obviously. There's Varane. Obviously, it's going to be interesting, to see where he goes. But I mean, Kane. The Kane situation's obviously interesting as well because I don't think he'll be. I mean, I don't really know where he'll go. I don't think he'll go Man City because I think they'll get someone else, like Felix, someone like that. Because Felix didn't have the best season, and his price tag would have gone down. I think under Pep, he could make Felix into the player that everyone knows he could be. But yeah, I mean, obviously, also just quickly want to go on to the Haaland game. I don't know if any of you, obviously, I know Noel, you've done the watch along. Man like Denzel Dumfries, I just had to put it in the name, man. He needs some Premier League club needs to get him. He's 25. I think someone in the top 7, top 8 should go in for him because he can play right back or wing back like he was playing. Well, basically playing right wing. He was further than Depay most of the time. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes. I think someone should snap him up.
Yeah, no, I hear that. But yeah, I mean, Harry Kane. Do you think this is a price thing for Harry Kane, or do you think this is just Pep? What are we putting it down to? Is it Daniel Levy pricing him out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mainly price because I know he's obviously class, but I think he's 28, or he's going to be 28 this year. I'm not sure, but
yeah, I think he's 27 going 28.
Yeah, I think 150 million is just stupid. Like everyone knows he's world class. The stats speak for itself. He got like 37 goal contributions in 38 games, or no, less than that because he missed a few games. Somehow didn't get player of the season, which is mad. But no, I think it's just money really. I think if Pep could get him, he would. But I think 150. I think 100 is fair. But 100 that extra 50 mil, 150 million for any player is just ridiculous, really.
It's the only way it works is with Haaland, and that is because you are getting a genuine talent who is very young, and he will have that sell-on value. So, yes, you stump up the 150 mil. That's virtually a loan, basically, because you may get 4 or 5 really good years out of him, sell him to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona for 150, 200, mad amounts of money. So for me, it's very much there is no sell-on value for Kane. We have to remember that you are buying, you're getting what you're buying, right? So you're getting a world-class player. You're getting a world-class player for the next 3 to 4 years. But then after that, you're not going to have a world-class player. And there is no sell-on value to that. That's part of the issue.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, go on, Charlie.
I think it's
a tough one.
Yeah, I think that's the main point though. Like you said, with Haaland, he's probably got he's only 21 or 20, however young he is, and like you said with Kane, there is no sell-on value. So you could probably get 3 or 4 good years out of him, but then after that, no one's going to be spending a lot of money on him.
Yeah, and it's a horrible way to view it, but unfortunately, that's just football. That is just football, and football has turned into a financial merry-go-round, and there is just simply no sell-on value. There's sell-on value on Haaland, but there's none on Kane, and I think that's probably what City are looking at. Maybe not directly, but they're probably thinking that. But Kenny, I want to go to you on this one. Tomori, do you think Chelsea should have tried to keep him?
I mean, to be completely honest, Tomori, I don't really know much about it, but what I do know about him is that I know a lot of fans were saying he had a very good season, and I've seen a lot of highlights of him. I've seen his stats. I've seen a lot of I've seen the amount of stuff I can because I haven't watched Serie A, so I've seen the amount of stuff that I can see. And from what I've seen, he's been absolutely immense in Serie A. Apparently, he was vital to AC Milan getting in that Champions League spot, which they craved for so long. And I think that Chelsea should never let him go. I mean, thinking about it, they aren't bad in defence necessarily, but even if you're not bad in defence, having that extra great option and such a young player too. I mean, I know Thiago Silva, of course, quite old. I think he's he there for one more year? I'm not sure, but if he is there for one more year, then it's only basically one more year left of him, and then we can maybe get to see like Tomori, or we would have got to see Tomori, but I don't think we should have let him go. I think he would be a vital squad player because I've seen the amounts of I on him, and he's been very good. Is what I can say. He's been absolutely amazing in Serie A. Now, whether you could knock that down to the fact that it is Serie A, you could say that. But even still, Serie A, those numbers in Serie A, you have to be good. You have to be at least a little bit good. So yeah, I think he should have stayed. He not him. Chelsea should have kept him. I've rephrased that wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Chelsea's a massive mistake on their part because. But I'm not surprised because you see Chelsea, they're the club that always just gets youth out. I mean, normally they do loan that youth out for about 10 years. Remember that Lucas Piazzon guy, he only played one game and he was there. I think he played for them the longest time just because of loans. But yeah, I do think that I do think that they should have definitely kept him, and the fact that they haven't. I don't know why. It just shows that they're bloody. It just shows that they don't care about the youth. They don't really care. They just want to offload him, which I'm not sure will affect them next season. But imagine next few years. Imagine what Tomori could become. Imagine what Tomori will become. And if he becomes a great player, then Chelsea fans will have to play the people who sold him. But it happens. I'm not surprised. But they should have really kept him. You say that too much though with Chelsea. They should have kept a lot of players, but they haven't. But and then they're stuck with Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
No, I hear that. Lewis, what about you? Tomori, do you think Chelsea should have tried to keep him?
No, look, I haven't watched Serie A, all that, but I've seen a few games of him. I've watched a few videos on YouTube and all that. I haven't seen his stats, but honestly, he looks sensational, and it's a shame to see him go. I personally, for me, I would have loved to see him playing in Premier League for Chelsea. Because
I hear that.
Silva's old. I think really good about 28. I think he'll get moved on in the next few years.
Yeah.
Unless he starts playing well like he has under Tuchel. But apart from that, who do they have in that centre back role as a backup? I can't think of anyone. And
it depends on who they go get. I mean, of
course. Because
the thing with.
They could go for Varane.
Well, they are looking at a centre back. That is one of their thoughts. But Max, I'll sort of round up on you. I'm shattered, so it isn't going to be a long one. The Euros definitely takes out of you. But Max, if you are there, I'll end up on you, or are you? You there? We're just talking Tomori. What's your thoughts on Tomori and all of that? Do you think he should have stayed at Chelsea, or do you think he was right to go?
See, I mean, it's obviously a player's decision if they want to leave or not. And obviously Chelsea don't want to lose him after he's had such a good spell. Obviously Lampard didn't give him enough chance. I did hope that he would stay at Chelsea. He's a good defender. He played well at Derby when he was on. He might have been on loan, I don't know. But he played well at Derby. He's played well at Chelsea again. Hasn't got too much game time, so that's obviously been a downer for him. But it's just a case of how defenders perform in their position, and in each game, because obviously they focus on one game at a time. Because if they focus on too many at a time, like if they focus on the week after, then they're not going to win that game. And Tomori's just been great at every club he's played for, and it's happened where he's been so good like others that he's now got the chance you'll never beat Tomori, and there's a high chance you won't, because he's so good in the way he uses the ball correctly in his position. He has good passing skills. He knows how to use the ball at the back comfortably. Yeah. It's just a case of whether was it his decision. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But obviously, players want to stay at the clubs that they play for. Yet they do have to leave at some point if they get offered bigger, better clubs to move to.
It's not. I don't think it was about big or better. I think he just got offered more game time and just jumped to the idea, which you can't really blame him for doing that. But we are going to wrap it up there. It's been a long day. But we'll be doing it all again tomorrow. Obviously, Sweden versus Slovakia. Me and RJ at 1:30. Me and Velv with Croatia, Czech Republic. Then an open panel for England, Scotland. So if you want to come on, just ask and a link will get sent to you. England show tomorrow sometime. I'm doing a match reaction with Reese on his channel, so go check that out as well. I'll be doing a preview at around about lunchtime, so I definitely will be going to bed early tonight. But before we go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel when notifications are on. Go check out our socials. Let's Talk EPL on Twitter, Let's Talk EPL _ on Instagram, and Let's Talk Premier League on TikTok. Kenny, where can they find you?
You can find me at Sancho is Coming, Let's Talk EPL, and Kenny TV on YouTube.
Perfect. Lewis, where can they find you?
Comment to it at Lewis Play 116. Find me on YouTube at Pro Sports.
Perfect. Max, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me on Instagram, MaxTagHD Official, on Twitter at YouTube _MaxTagHD, and on YouTube itself, MaxTagHD. I'm on the road to 100. As I said in the last stream, I'm on 51 subscribers, so hopefully I can get to 100 by whenever. Hopefully by the time the new season starts. I'll still be doing a preview and review, maybe not a preview, but it depends how much time I have. But I'll be doing a stream or something for the Hull City fixtures when they come out, whenever they do come out, as they've been postponed. So I'll be doing a video on that, and I shall be on this channel tomorrow night from whenever the England stream starts, so whenever the England show stream ends, and we'll just see how everything goes. It's coming home.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. As I said, we're back tomorrow, me and RJ at 1:30, Sweden, Slovakia. Until then, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in a bit.